Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Just doing a quick video today, and I'm naming this video Old School Love because I'm a fan of old school. I'm a fan of racing from 96 to about 04, 05, maybe even 06. And I'm particularly fond of the ZX7. ZX7 has always been one of my favorite bikes, and I don't really know why that is, but I think it has something to do with when Eric Bostrom used to race it back in 2001 and 2002. And his bike actually had this very paint scheme, the paint scheme shown on the 2002 ZX7. He raced it in 2001 with this paint scheme, and ever since this bike came out, I always wanted one. I didn't actually get this until 2010. I've had it for about 7 years now, going on 8. And the bike, man, it's just nice. You know, it's different. It's different than a lot of what you see on the road today. You know, all the super small, super fast, and super light bikes. But the ZX7 is a good bike in its own right. So just want to go over a couple of things with the bike to show you. So let's say you wanted to get one of these, or you know, you wanted to know what to look out for. Well, I can show you a couple of things. So one of the things about the ZX7 is the forks are actually not preload adjustable. They have the preload adjuster, but it doesn't actually compress the spring. I'm not sure why Kawasaki did that, but a lot of the guys, what they did was put in PVC tubes inside the fork body on top of the spring so that it compresses or decompresses when you use the adjuster. I haven't done that. I find that just getting the correct spring rate in the forks was enough to get just to get a good setting on it. The headers, I don't know if you can see in there, but the headers are susceptible to some oxidation. As you can see, it's exposed to the elements. Water can get in there when it rains, so you know, maybe a screen would be nice. Maybe I'll figure out how to put a screen on it at some point. Same thing, just oxidation, and you can see a little bit back here on the rotor. Now, I mean, honestly, this is just because the bike's been sitting since I haven't ridden it since maybe October, so it's due for a service soon. I'm going to be redoing the fork seals and fork springs and installing a race tech kit in the forks. Carbs, these bikes are carbureted, and you know, carburation needs maintenance every couple of seasons, especially if the bike is sitting or if you put bad gas in it. And you know, cleaning carbs is never fun, but honestly, I feel that if you have a chance to clean carbs, you will really learn a lot about tuning and air fuel ratios, and how getting it spot on will you know, really enhance the ride quality. And obviously, you know, fuel injection is a lot easier, but tuning carbs is an art. You know, not many people today can still do it. Only the old timers that used to do them a lot back in the 90s. And down here I just got some paint chips on the swing arm, and that's actually my fault, because when I used the stand, when I used the rear stand on the spools, and I didn't cut the fender here, sometimes the angle of the, you know, the part of the stand makes contact with the swing arm and damage it. I'm actually going to pull that swing arm off some point in 2018 and repaint it. But just a quick video. And the bodywork, I try to keep it in really good condition, and got a little wear around here just from riding. That's normal. A lot of people back in the 90s used to use what's called a tank rod. It was a big leather cover for the tank that protected from the zipper on your jacket. These seats a couple years ago, see, these seats look brand new. I had them reupholstered in a place out in Queens, New York. It looks brand new, and having the upholstery really up to date keeps the material nice, plush, nice and soft, and you won't get those cracks. Try not to let it get wet. because it'll freeze and make the material brittle. So that's pretty much a quick overview. As you can see, my bike is completely OEM. Even the turn signals, I don't not want to put flush mounts and ruin the originality of the bike. Honestly, guys, I mean, not bragging on myself, but I could have any bike that I want, from this to all the way to the Superleggera. But honestly, man, I really like this. I really appreciate the old school, and I honestly hope to always have a ZX7. Fortunately, though, and my recommendation, if any of you guys watching this have old school bikes, is to get as many spares as you can, because I think manufacturers are only required to have or produce or manufacture parts for 10 years for a model that comes out. And this bike is going on 16 years old. So Kawasaki really doesn't have to make parts for this. I just found out, though, that there is a vintage program for Kawasaki and Suzuki, and they are making parts for late model bikes, which is amazing. I just actually scored a complete set of this same Bodywork OEM, not made in China, the OEM, for $450 from a dealer out in Oregon. So I'm really psyched about that, and that should get here probably this coming Thursday. If you guys are interested, I'll post an update. But I'm gonna have a spare set of Bodywork in this same color and design for this bike that I scored on the cheap. These uppers, they have tabs behind the headlight. A lot of times the tabs are broken, and you know, you'll see them on eBay really cheap, but they're hard to mount. A lot of times these windscreens get like all those scratches on it. This is a new windscreen I bought maybe 2 seasons ago. None of the stuff is cheap, but you really got to have a love for the old school stuff if you want to shell out money to keep it looking nice. I love my ZX7. I love it. I want to keep it as nice as I can. It's not a scratch on it, just in a couple of spots. Like here from the tie downs from transporting it, I may touch that up as well. And that's it. These bikes make 106 horsepower stock. They weigh about 500 pounds. Heavy, I know. But for whatever reason, they handle very well, and they respond well to suspension changes. So on my race bike that I'm currently building now in the other video series, I have a Penske shock in the rear, and the forks have Öhlins internals. Also, you can adjust the ride height on the back, even with the stock suspension, as you can see in there. Even with the stock suspension, the ride height is adjustable, and you can actually make it turn in faster. So for a bike of its size, for a bike that's only 25 pounds shy of a Busa, it actually handles a lot better than a Busa. I've practically dragged my elbow on this thing, and that's no exaggeration. The bike handles well. So I'm gonna start her up now, let you hear how she sounds with the carburetors. And it's a very smooth running bike. So that's it. You can hear how smooth it sounds. It sounds like a sewing machine. That was a titanium Muzzy exhaust. Now, tell you a little bit about my exhaust setup. The headers were from, it's the ZX7R Muzzy headers, and all the way back to the mid pipe. But this Muzzy canister is a titanium canister that actually came from a ZX12. As you can see, I put a pipe expander there to get the mid pipe to fit the 2.5-inch diameter of the Muzzy pipe, and actually picked up a couple of horsepower on the dyno. I think it picked up about 2 extra horsepower versus the other canister, or actually the one that I'm running on my race bike. But I haven't been able to find another one since, and brand new, they're like $400 or $500. I scored this for about $100 a few years back. I can't be happier. But this bike, as far as plans for it, I hope to keep it completely stock, with the exception of the fork internals and the shock internals. Instead of throwing aftermarket on there, I may just put the Race Tech shock internals just to keep the OEM look, but have the performance of something that's a little bit more modern. I have a second set of flat slide carbs that came off of a ZX7RR, but I'm not going to put those on. I really like the stock carbs on this. They work very, very, very well, especially cold starts. It's about 40 degrees today. You saw the bike just started with no problem. Started right up, and it's been about 2 years since I've last cleaned these carbs. 2 years, and the bike starts up no problem. Probably could use a good sync. It has a little bit of lumpiness that I could hear that you probably can't hear, but overall, nothing beats the CV carbs on these things, man, when you keep them clean. So that's it for now. Just wanted to give you a quick update on one of my favorite bikes. They're really nice. They're really, really, really nice. And honestly, you can get these for a cool $3 to $4 grand, depending on how clean they are. I wouldn't bother with anything less than $3,000. They're probably, the bodywork's probably shabby, missing a lot of, they're probably just poorly maintained. Get a clean one if you decide to get one, and believe me, you will thank me later. You will thank me later. And I don't know, you gotta ride one to experience it. There's something so alluring about the old school rides with no electronics, with no rider aids, that is really, really involving. It really enhances the riding experience for you. And no, it's not faster than the modern stuff, but by any means. But it's such a fun ride. And I don't know if you guys, there's a YouTube channel, 44 Teeth. They're actually doing a series now with this bike and the GSX-R 750, the Shred. I forgot what year. I think it was 96, and they're restoring them, and these guys are having like a world of fun with them. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to try something old school. Also, if you really want to learn how to ride really well, getting something that's a few years old, that's not that expensive to fix, might also be the ticket. So just something to keep in mind. Also, if you want to learn how to work on bikes, build motors and stuff like that, you can find this motor on eBay anywhere from $400 to $800 or $900, complete, shipped to your door. Now, if you go to a school for auto mechanics, sometimes the tools can cost a lot more than that. Imagine getting a motor, and then you go to Harbor Freight, get yourself a toolkit for $150, and just have at it, download the service manual and just learn how to work on these bikes. And you will be surprised like how those skills will transfer over to some of the new stuff. Because a lot of people ask me, yo, Nate, how you feel comfortable working on an H2 and you're not a certified mechanic? And the truth is, everything I learned about working on bikes, I learned working on my ZX7. And actually my other one, my race ZX7 that I'm rebuilding in the other build video series, I got that bike for $500. I think in 2012 or 2011. 2011, I think I got that bike for $600. My race ZX7, and haven't looked back since. So hope you guys enjoyed this quick skit of my old school Lovin. I would also like to pick up a GSX-R 750 in the future. If not the carbureted one, the first fuel injected one in 98 and 99. So we'll see. But for whatever reason in the US, those are hard to find in really good condition. But now that Suzuki has committed to a vintage parts program, I may be able to get one that needs a little bit of work and just get the OEM parts in the manufacturer. Maybe I'll pick up one of those, and maybe a Ducati 916, just to have like my own little golden era collection. Because the R7 Yamaha and the RC45, I mean, forget it. Those bikes are about 20 grand a piece. But the other ones, the GSX-R 750 Shred, Ducati 916, you can find those from anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. And maybe you won't find the R7, but you could definitely find the Yamaha YZF. Is it YZR or YZF 750R? That's it, YZF 750. That came to the US, that Colin Edwards actually raced back in the 90s. So much history in these older bikes, man. And you could really spend an entire afternoon or weekend or what have you just learning about some of the racing that, you know, happened here in the United States. So I'm gonna end the video. Post your comments. Let me know what you guys think. You guys like old school? If so, show some love by hitting the like button. If not, well, you need better taste. Just kidding, guys. To each his own. But old school, man, I love old school. And if you guys want to see some more videos with the old ZX7, or just holla at me in the comments, and I'll definitely plan some more. I can't wait to get my spare Bodywork this week. I'm going to keep that in storage, and I like having spares, so need a few more spares for the MV, and then I'm going to start collecting spares for the 2016 H2. I like to have spares. I don't know, it's just I've always been like that. Keep good Bodywork spares, because you just never know. Stuff happens, and I hate waiting for parts. I like to have parts on hand and then backfill. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this quick vid on the old school ZX7R. And if you have any questions, man, feel free, post them in the comments. Until next time, I'm gonna leave you guys with this treat at the end of my vid.
All race time, Eric Bostrom has had his head down from the green flag, showing Matt Mladen that he can be beaten, but Mladen's not going to swallow that dinner without a protest.
They will break the race record. It is 46 minutes and 22 seconds. We're 45 minutes into this race and 1 minute and 10 seconds from the end of it. So Eric Bostrom with less than a minute now to hold off Matt Mladen for his first win of the 2001 season and a major step towards an opportunity to win the championship.
Whoa, Eric Bostrom with some big speed into turn 3 that time. He's able to get the ZX7 turned and up the hill. Matt Mladen is too far back. He's going to have to pull off some serious heroics. It'll be Eric Bostrom's first win up here in New Hampshire if he can pull this off with just 6 more turns to go.
Eric Bostrom, so aggressive body style. He's heading towards the section of the racetrack where Mladen has mounted a challenge, but it seems as though Mladen recognizes, as you said, Sadowski, that he is not close enough to make a charge in this last couple of turns of the racetrack, but he's going to try anyway. Here he comes.
Anything can happen, Brian. Anything can happen. These are some of the most challenging turns, especially when you got 38 laps of arm pump going on. Eric Bostrom up the front straightaway right now. He will take his first victory in New Hampshire. Matt Mladen closes up.
The checkered flag for Eric Bostrom, his first win of 2001, and a big step in the points. Although Matt Mladen was second, there is enough points for him to have gained some ground. A battle for 4th position that's going to go down to the line between Nicky Hayden leading, Jamie Hacking. Yates has already finished
Hacken's on the charge. He's going to go around the outside of Nicky Hayden. Wheel spinning, tire smoking, burnout, cross up wheelie across the line. Oh, if he didn't spin that tire, he might have had a shot at the 69 of Nicky Hayden, but a great race for 4th, as well as the lead for this man, Eric Bostrom. A great victory for him.
Eric Bostrom is already celebrating with stoppies and wheelies and waving to the crowd, and you know he is elated. Watch this last lap by Matt Mladen.
The electric shifter right out on the wall in the shade where the pavement is cold causes the smoke to pour off the rear tire, and that costs Matt Mladen any chance of challenging for the lead.
Stand-up wheelie over the hill and into the bowl. Lots of folks over there watching Eric Bostrom and celebrating with him his first victory of 2001. And he is one happy young man.
Up through Animal Hill, some of the most enthusiastic race fans you'll find off to the right here. Eric Bostrom gives him a salute, heading down through turn 9. And a heads up to all the corner workers here, the U.S. Marshals, for sticking with us here on Monday, giving us a positively safe racetrack here for these great conditions.
Our Rogaine hair-raising moment a little earlier in the race as they came up upon Andy Mecklow's Ducati.
Yeah, I would suggest Mecklow put some Rogaine in your cereal tomorrow, buddy. That'll make your hair fall out.
Our Rogaine hair-raising moment and our Chevy Trucks rider of the race, Eric Bostrom's 4th Superbike win, comes at Loudon. This is the way the first half of the Chevy Trucks AMA US Superbike Championship ended, with Eric Bostrom picking up his 4th career Superbike win and his first of the season over Mladen Yates. Hayden held off Hacking. Chandler gets 6th. Rapp, Duhamel, Hayden, and Tommy Hayden and Larry Pegram round out the top 10. Take a look at the rest of them. Top Privateer, there is a prize list for that, and it looks like Mike Saccato's going to take it all the way down to our last finisher here today, Eric Wood, one of the fellows who knows a lot about this racetrack, riding a super sport machine, and as were many of them in the field. Our Chevy Trucks rider of the race, we already previewed it for you. Who else but Eric Bostrom, leading every lap, all 39 of them, to pick up the win here today. Our points now, and you will see that Eric Bostrom has gained some ground. He came in 36 points away. Now he is but 30 behind. Nicky Hayden is in 3rd spot, tied with Doug Chandler, and Tommy Hayden rounds out the top 5. Down to Larry Myers.
With a very happy Eric Bostrom, who predicted this thing. You said you had to do it, you did.
Yeah, we did. It wasn't given to us, that's for sure. Matt did a terrific job chasing us, and Guy, we had some great lap times at the beginning. I'm like, man, I hope nobody can hang on, because we're going, and sure enough, he started coming along. So I just put my head down. It was a long race, and it was beautiful there.
Great job. You're still in a points battle, guys.
All right, well, the whole crew, Al Ludington, Joey Lombardo, Danny Hull, Matt Warbus, will be celebrating with Eric Bostrom. We had a great day of racing here at Loudon. My thanks to David Sadowski and Larry Myers downstairs. I'm Brian Drebber. Thanks especially to you. Happy Father's Day late.